Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. My name is Alicia McCollum, and I'm the operating manager here at Buds Engineering. Today, I'd like to talk to you about how important it is to have an email policy in place. We'll discuss some emails that have been used in recent lawsuits, a few security concerns I have, and what our email policy might look like. First, let's talk about how email can be used just like DNA to help prosecutors win their cases. How much do we need to pay you to screw Netscape? That was an email sent by Bill Gates that was used against him during his antitrust lawsuit. Even Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft, has learned how important email controls are for any business. During the antitrust lawsuit, corporate emails and internal memos became critical evidence for the prosecution. Several of those emails discussed internal strategy and software problems and were intended for management inside. Yet, because of new legal rulings, those emails and memos became public record and critical evidence used against them during trial. The resulting fines exceeded $1 billion. Wet Seal, a clothing retailer, is currently facing a lawsuit for racial discrimination in an email sent by their former senior vice president of operations. Sent an email to store managers telling them to hire blondes with blue eyes or be terminated. The email went on to say that African Americans dominate, and that is a huge issue. The next day, several African American employees were fired. That email is now part of a lawsuit and has tarnished the name and reputation of Wet Seal, possibly forever. Each of these cases highlights the importance of having an email policy in place. Now, let's talk about some security issues. Security is such a critical part of today's business environment, and while the internet has made information available almost instantly, it has also opened doors for security breaches, including malware and viruses like the Trojan horse that are capable of stealing sensitive information from us and our customers. Opening personal email attachments, using gaming or shopping sites, downloading content from the internet all increase our risk of security breaches. We all remember the fiasco Citigroup encountered last year when over 200,000 of their customers had information stolen by hackers. Because lawsuit and security threats are such a huge concern, an email policy must be a priority. We must immediately implement a policy that covers what kind of information may be sent and by whom. To be effective, it must include these important issues. Do not send personal emails. Do not play games, visit, or update social networking sites. Please don't use the computer system for shopping purposes. Do not open any non-text email attachments. These are notorious channels for hackers to send viruses. Do not download software to the company's system without prior authorization from your manager. Do not deliberately view, download, or go to sites that could be considered offensive to anyone in any way. Do not subscribe to message boards or news groups without prior written approval from the management. And please never impersonate another person or modify sensitive data unless given specific permission from your supervisors. In conclusion, over 85 million emails are sent worldwide every day. Our company sends and receives over 300 of them. If only 1% of those emails contain a virus or sensitive information, we are exposing ourselves to over 1,100 potential lawsuits or viruses every year. Because the court systems have deemed emails and internal memos acceptable forms of evidence in lawsuits, and because security breaches can happen at any time. An email policy is critical. Our company runs the risk of similar suits if we do not put effective email controls in place now. Therefore, I highly recommend we implement this email policy immediately. Thank you for your time. I will have copies of the email policy available. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to call me. Thanks a lot.